in the same area. We've done an investigation, and it's called Captain's Pitch. You'll see that a lot of places. But Captain's Pitch, it's called Captain's Pitch because a highwayman used to do a lot of muggings and all sorts of murders there, and they shot him dead on the bridge. And lots of people have seen this, heard this horseman coming down the road. You could hear the horse first, and all of a sudden he'll appear. Either some days if he liked you with his head on, other days with no head at all. And we've done lots of investigations on the bridge, and we've had things, red mists and different lights and stuff like down the bridge, where people have heard clanking of chains on the bridge and all sorts of stuff. But a policeman came in to see me one afternoon, and he said, "Are you Rory?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Are you the ghost hunter?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Is it true Captain's Pitch is haunted?" I said, "Why?" And he said, "We've got a young man in custody, and we think he's on drugs, or we've given him a alcohol test, and he's proved okay for that. But I've just come to see you about the ghost story," because he keeps on saying it's the ghost. And what it was, he had a white van, and he was coming around the corner by the bridge, and this highwayman came roaring towards him, got his flintlock pistols out, turned, went to shoot him. He turned his van down the ravine and ended up down the bottom of the ravine, sitting on top of the van, crying. And that's how the police found him. And he was absolutely terrified. But the funny thing is, I was asked to do an investigation at Fronfraith Hall, and Fronfraith Hall's above it. I never even knew it was there. Great big mansion, beautiful mansion, restoring it. And we did an investigation there, and in the house itself, I went to the toilet, and as I was going up the stairs, on the servant stairs, I seen a little boy sitting on the stairs. And when I got back downstairs, I said, "Oh, I thought there was no children here tonight. I thought you were just you and your husband. I didn't want to have children here to scare them." Because, "Oh, you've just seen the ghost." Exactly where I seen him. Everybody else has seen him. And I went on the main staircase, and they got a beautiful Jacobean staircase going right up. It must have been from the other house, because this is a Victorian house, but an older staircase. And they said this part of the house was burnt down. And if you touch the staircase, you can feel the cinders underneath there. And they've kept it, it's all still there, but you can feel the cinders. And they've seen a female coming down the stairs. And as I was saying, I can feel this female coming down the stairs. This is my personal story. As I said that there's a female coming down the stairs, Ian said, "Rory, I've caught something on camera." And he said, "Oh my God, I haven't got the camera on." But when he got home, he checked the camera, and sure enough, there's something white going past the camera and up the stairs past me. I've got that on film. You'll have to have a look at that. The reason why I do ghost hunting, because my old headmaster, he saw the lady just outside Lanny called the Red Bridge Ghost. And one evening, late evening, he was coming home from Lanny back to New, dropped his girlfriend off in Lanny, and he was coming home. And as he got over the bridge, he seen this woman coming towards him, and he put on his brakes, and he went, "Oh my God, I'm going to kill her." And he hit her, and she split into two and fallen back up in the middle of the road. And as he looked in his mirror, her eyes were staring into the mirror. And, he skidded and got out of the car, and he goes, "Where's she gone?" So he went to the Lion and Landingham to tell everyone, and they just said, "You've just seen the ghost." But lots of other people have seen her. Police cars have seen her. She'll come straight through the car, and one ambulance hit her, and as she went through the car, she stared at everybody, even the patient on the bed. She stared at him going past. So, that's the Red Bridge Ghost. So lots of people have seen her. I wouldn't go over the bridge when I was a boy. I used to stop at the bridge and turn back because it was so scary. You have a lady called the Wicked Lady of Lanny, and her name was Lady Jefferies, and she was a witch. And people used to, if people go on the wrong side of her, she used to turn herself into a whirlwind, and she used to go down the town centre and destroy the windows and everything. And this one evening, they got 7 ministers, and the ministers said, they captured her, and she said, "I'll put a curse on you, I'll put a curse on Shortbridge. If any ivy grows over the top of the bridge, I'll come back." Anyway, they said, don't be so, they just grabbed her again. And as they grabbed her, they said, "If you're so powerful, I bet you couldn't change yourself into a blue bottle." So she did, and they corked her in a bottle and put her under the bridge. And to this day, the council still cut the ivy because they don't want it to come back. But I got a photograph on my Facebook, just sent me now, the other day. I didn't believe it. There's an old building in Lanny, and a friend of mine's daughter's a model, and they took a photograph of her. Took like just you there. Took a photograph. By the side of her it looks like shards of glass spinning round. Have a look after on Midville's Paranormal. It's on there now, but it's like it looks like a whirlwind. I said, do you know the story about Lady Jefferies? So I don't know. Has she come back? Has no one cut the ivy? I wonder. This is about a poltergeist. The house, I don't know the name of the house, but it's an old farmhouse up on the mountains of Lanny, and this is to do with the Victorian days and early 1920s and stuff. And one of the servant girls, she was 15, she was, and she stayed, you know, took her new job up. And as one night, she went to bed, and she heard like a mouse scratching. So she went to the top of the landing, and you could just imagine the old staircases looking like treacle, you know, real big old black staircase, and all the floorboards are all black, you know, floorboards. And she looked over the banisters and could see this little mouse playing. So she went downstairs, sat on the stairs watching this little mouse playing, and all of a sudden this little mouse noticed her, and he turned around, and he had great big black eyes, and stared at her and smiled, and went through the wall. Anyway, after that, she would wake up every night with the mouse on her, scratching her and biting her face and pulling her hair. And she told the family, they laughed about it really, they didn't believe it. So she left, and they brought another servant girl in. But this time, the servant girl was treated nice. He'd just stroke her face, and now and again, he'd give it, the mouse would give her a slap on the face. Funny thing, isn't it, really, a mouse slapping you on the face. Anyway, in the end, she left, and one night the family didn't believe it when they all heard screaming and shouting and banging on the walls and scratching on the walls. Even the servants outside, they were doing their work, be kicked and bit and everything, and it was getting worse and worse. So in the end, they sent for a minister, and on the way up to the house, you could just imagine it, this old minister with a big bell. He's coming to do an exorcism, and as he's coming up to the house, he's ringing the bell. He'd go in the house, and all the brave servants, some of the brave servants, look through the window, see what he was doing, and he's ringing the bell, and he'd say, you know, show yourself, evil spirits, show yourself. And nothing would happen. There'd be books thrown across the room, and he was put against the wall himself, and he said, evil spirits, show yourself. And it still wouldn't show itself, and he got his Bible and threw it in his face. And in the end, he said, you know, Eve, on the third time, he said the Lord's Prayer, and this man appeared in the middle of the room in a beautiful Georgian suit made of silk, and he had a sword with him, and he went to run through the minister. And as he went to run through the minister, he gave out a holy scream and disappeared through the wall, and he was never seen again. One of my friends is a minister, and they're all brothers of ministers, so it's a brotherhood of ministers. And this one night, these two brothers moved into a house in Lanny, and the one brother said, I'm going out tonight, I'll see you later. And the other brother stayed in watching telly, and he fell asleep. And he woke up, thought his brother was in, because he heard the door going, and somebody running up the stairs. So he goes to the bottom of the stairs, he goes to his brother, whatever his name was, shouted his brother's name, nothing. So he went up the top of the stairs, and then downstairs, he heard some bum, 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 across the floor. Turned around, and there was this little old lady standing at the bottom of the stairs with white curly hair, great big blue eyes, just staring at him. And he said, what are you doing in my house? And she went, Ass! And she went on all fours and chased him up the stairs. And as he got into his bedroom, she disappeared. A few nights after, both brothers were in the house, and the one brother goes, I'm going to bed, I'm a bit tired. And it was only one bedroom, so it was like two single beds. Now, the one brother didn't know, the one who went to bed, the other brother didn't know that the brother was having a shower. So the other brother went upstairs and went to bed himself. And on the way to bed, when he got into the bedroom, he could make out the shape of his brother in the bed. So he could hear him snoring. So he went over to the bed, pulled the sheets off his brother, and it was the woman. She and growled, and she went across the room in the corner and knelt down on all fours and jumped at him and disappeared through the wall. And that's what they've told me. They still live there now. It's got better, but they're still having the effects of this lady still happening.